this kind of takes me back. If you've been watching my channel for very long, you know that my second ever video was shot right here, most of it. It was about the filming locations for the movie The Town That Dreaded Sundown. And hasn't changed much since the last time I was down here. But what I want to talk to you about today, since it's October, is a few supposedly haunted places here in Texarkana. And holy cow, man, I just got a jump scare. See the blue car? Can you see it now? Michael Myers is in that car. Woo! Man, that was funny. Anyway, we'll talk to you about a few haunted things. I was going to do a video about the Paragon disaster, which I've tried to do about 3 times. And I either lose, my sound doesn't work out, or my camera doesn't work out. And this time there was a train completely blocking the cemetery where I was going to start the video at. So I may have to shelve that one for a while. Maybe fate doesn't want me to make that video. But anyway, let's get into this. Rambling Ted here. Actually, if you look behind me, I might talk a little about the Paragon. That would be where the Paragon was, and where that thing happened. I might talk about it a little. Maybe I'll try and head back over to the cemetery. But man, Michael Myers sitting in this car just shook me up a little. Is that not creepy? He hasn't moved. I hope there's not a person in that costume. Can you see him? Is he showing up on the camera? Oh yeah. They got it going on, man. You can see right here, Union Station was built in 1929. It was open for a long time. And it's been various other things since I've been here. There was a strip club in there for a while. There's been a bar in there. A lot of stuff. But it was originally a train station and is still used somewhat as a train station. And of course a filming location for The Town That Dreaded Sundown. As a matter of fact, if you watch the movie, this doorway right here in front of me, that's the first place you see the Phantom in the movie. He steps out of that doorway. They had a phony looking, well, it didn't look phony, it looked pretty real, ticket booth right here. There's supposed to be a movie theater in the movie that people were coming out of. And if you look right down there, that is the first place you see the Phantom's foot step out of that door. And come walking out here. A little bit of trivia for you. But yeah, Union Station is so funny that clock is completely fallen out up there. Union Station is supposed to be haunted. Now I went through there when I was young. It's kind of a rite of passage around here for people. If you're a young person and you grew up around here, I moved here in '85, but it was still, has been forever, a rite of passage for people to break into this building and explore it. And I can honestly tell you that people who say that it's haunted are probably not exaggerating or lying, because there's some strange stuff in there, and it's kind of crazy. But yeah, it's been several things. Like I said, most famously a filming location for The Town That Dreaded Sundown. I'm looking right here on these steps in front of me. Several scenes from the movie are filmed right there. They come out and do a press conference, as a matter of fact, right on these steps. But the haunting part of this is, they say that on the platform out back at night, you will see the ghost of a woman in a blue dress. Now, whether this is true or not, I don't know. I've never seen her. But that's one of the things I've been told about haunted Union Station. It's a beautiful old building. Love all the detail work on these awnings. Pretty nice. I'm gonna walk around. I'm gonna see if it's possible that I can see the platform. I know they still use it as a train Amtrak station. They just don't build them like this anymore, though. The funny thing is, for all the people that have broken in here and stuff, this is like okay, there's Union Station. That's the Bi-State Justice Building where all the police are. And then that over there is, you recognize all of that building right there if you've seen the Town That Dreaded Sundown. In fact, that one of the diner scenes was even filmed inside that part directly ahead of me. But yeah, I wonder if I can walk down here and get a look at the platform. Been doing a little research on a few different haunted places, supposedly haunted places in Texarkana. Yeah, see, if you can see this part right here, this is still an Amtrak rail passenger station right here. As you go that way, it's loading docks that are unused, I'm sure. This drives right underneath that main entrance. Yeah, a guy I knew had a bar in here at one time in the 90s. It's just been several different things. It's on I believe it's on the Register of Historic Places, so it's, and there might be some money earmarked to fix it up, and I'm really hoping that is true. That would be pretty nice. There's a piece of history around here. See, I don't think I'm going to be able to go back here. Maybe I can. Let's see if I get yelled at. I shot down that way, and you can see the platform in the video, and there was somebody on the platform, which kind of freaked me out a little bit. Not a woman in a blue dress, though. But they've got no trespassing signs. That's all. Unless you're waiting on an Amtrak train, I don't think you're supposed to go back there. So I didn't. I try and obey the laws. But yeah, several people, and I know people who've told me themselves that they've seen a woman in a blue dress on that platform at night. And I just, I believe I would probably freak out a little bit. They say she kind of glows. Does not look, you can tell, they say you can tell it's not a, wow man, I just went in the dark. Whew. They say you can tell, it's better for you guys anyway, you don't look at me. They say you can tell though that she's not a human. They say that she's very ethereal looking, and her robes blow in the wind even when there's no wind, you know. So yeah, kind of crazy. But yeah, Union Station is just one of the many ghost stories. Man, you can see through those windows. I don't see anybody up there though. Man, it's a beautiful building if you go inside it. It's pretty neat. It could be very very cool to see it fixed up. You can always hope, right? Maybe somebody will take that ball and run with it. Right now we're on the west side of the the McCartney Hotel, which is directly across from Union Station, that they used when they were filming Town That Dreaded Sundown. They didn't show this side in the movie, though. But it's interesting to see. I believe there's like a parking. Yeah, there's a big old parking area up underneath it. This directly ahead of me, actually, not even where the building is, this empty spot from the curb right here, where those parking spaces are, and on over to the Bi-State building, is most likely where the Paragon was, and it was a saloon. A big old, 1800s wooden saloon lit with gas and kerosene lanterns. And what happened, I don't remember the exact date. I'll have to look it up. We're talking late 1800s. A guy named Anthony Gio. And Gio is a big shot. In fact, there's a movie called Papa's Delicate Condition that stars Jackie Gleason as Gio. He was a big shot and a very rich person in this town. He decided he was going to build, and we're walking right now on the spot where the saloon was. He decided that he was going to build a 3-story brick structure next to that saloon. And he did. He started construction on it. About to cross the street, and I ran into my photographer friend, Marshall. He invited me to go down to Alley Cats and get a cup of coffee. I think I will. Get a cup of coffee with him. But let me turn this camera around and kind of finish this story up a little bit for you. Yeah, so directly in front, right behind that car, is where the Paragon would have been, standing up right here. And they were building the building next to it. Gio was, and this storm came along and blew the brick building down over on top of the Paragon. Now, this was, like I said, this was gas lantern days, kerosene and gas lanterns. So it caught on fire. There were several people there. It was raining so hard that like you would think it would put the fire out, but no, it did not do that. It was just horrible. It stopped everything up. The fire brigade at that time was called by a church bell down the road, and I'll show you. It's not that far, just a few blocks. But it was raining and storming so hard that they could not hear the bell ring for the fire. One gentleman who was the barkeeper and bartender, I guess, they came in to rescue him, and he knew there was no hope for him. He was trapped under rubble and on fire, and he pulled his pistol out and ended himself there, so that nobody would try to save him. I'll have to look when I go down to the cemetery. It will tell exactly how many people died in it, but it was quite a few. I want to say 30 to 50, because a lot of people huddled in there to get away from the weather because it was storming so hard. And from the stories I keep getting told by people, here and the cemetery are both haunted by the spirits of these people who lost their lives. Whether this is true or not is, up to interpretation. I myself, I don't tend to believe most ghost stories, but oddly enough, I grew up in a house that I'm pretty sure is haunted. Like, I saw things, heard things, and felt things in there that, that are unexplainable. I might tell you some stories about that at some point. Well, anyway, let me go show you where this, you can see I'm walking, right back there is where the Paragon would have been. So I'm walking, and I'm going to turn this camera around and show you. So the Paragon would have been back there on that corner. You can see the corner of the Bi-State Justice building right there. The Paragon would have been just past that. And I've walked down the street here, and I'm coming up on Pine Street. Like I say, it's not far. Texarkana is not a very big, doesn't have a very big downtown. So you can tell it's not very far. And this is where Pine and State Line meet. Okay, State Line goes straight up that way to that post office, way up there, and straight through and bisects the Bi-State Justice Building. And if you go up there, almost to the post office, there is a church. In fact, you might can see the steeple up there. But anyway, that's where the fire brigade was, or the bell to ring for the fire brigade was. So somebody ran up there and rang that bell, but you couldn't hear it. Like, nobody could actually hear the call for the fire brigade. Yeah, you can see the church up there. Just to the Grimm Hotel. Right there is where that church was. So you can tell it's only a few blocks away from the Bi-State, but no one heard it, so it took even longer for the fire trucks and stuff to get there. So it was pretty much a lost cause by that point. Alright, that's going to do it for this section. Hopefully the next thing you see will be me at the cemetery where the mass grave for the people from the Paragon fire were, if I can get there. Like I say, I've tried to film there 3 times at least now, and something always stops me. So I start to wonder at that point if there's not a reason I'm being stopped. But anyway, I'm gonna go drink a cup of coffee with Marshall. I might show you that place. Alley Cats is a pretty cool coffee shop. It's in an old train car, so might stop there and talk to Marshall a little bit. That's Alley Cats. That's a coffee shop. I think my friend David Peavy owns this. He owns that gallery and bar in the basement called the Banana Club, and several other buildings in town. He's kind of a real estate mogul, I guess you could call him. Anytime they make something out of an old train car, I'm pretty happy about it. How often do you get to drink coffee in a train car? They're actually closed right now, so I won't be drinking any coffee. But she let me come in and shoot some video, which I thought was nice. I wonder if this thing's haunted. Could be. You never know. Alright, I made it to Rose Hill Cemetery. There was a train blocking this earlier today, and I ran to my friend, and he decided to come out here with me, so we came out here. The sun's about to set, so it's about to get creepy, but this is Rose Hill. It's the oldest cemetery in Texarkana. And if you look in here, there's 70 Confederate soldiers, and 3 known Union soldiers are also interred. 1882 is when the Paragon Saloon disaster happened, and I'm trying to see if it says Otis Henry, which I did a video on, which I may walk back down there. And it doesn't really say where the victims of the Paragon fire are. And I believe it's anywhere between 40 and 60 people. But I'm not sure where they are, but I have a suspicion. I've been told right inside the gate. And if you come right inside the gate, there's only one place that you can see where there are no headstones or anything. So let me walk over here and we'll take a look. All right. I'm walking towards the gate. But if you come through the gate, which is ahead of me, I'm going to make a left, but you would make a right. And I believe the victims of the Paragon fire are buried in a mass grave right over here. So let's walk over here and take a look. Okay, there's the entryway, and that's where the train was blocking earlier, so I couldn't get in here. And then you come in here, and I believe there's a section, a large section right here that is devoid pretty much of graves. And I believe this is where the mass burial for the victims took place. Somebody told me there may be a monument in here. I am not really sure, but if you look, this is one of the older parts of the cemetery, and they have not buried anyone else here. So I am pretty certain this is where it is. Those right there, I thought that might be it, but those are somebody's graves there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this area right around here is where the victims of the Paragon saloon tragedy were. Like I said, these were just people that were in there. You know, Texarkana was a rough and tumble western town back in those days, a railroad town. And the Paragon was a place where they hung out. And then with that storm that came in, that big storm that blew up, several other people had gone in there. So there were quite a few people huddling in there to try and get away from the storm. And it was just a tragedy. We didn't have the kind of resources we have now. You know, people just basically were buried under that rubble, under brick and wood, and of course kerosene lanterns, and everything just burnt. And it was, and they said it was raining. It was described as biblical proportions of rain, and they said that the fire was burning so hard that they couldn't even put it out with the rain and with the fire truck. It just pretty sad. But anyway, this cemetery here is purported to be haunted by some of those people. And if ever there was a haunted cemetery, I believe this one would be it. It definitely has the look of a haunted cemetery. But yeah, I'm pretty certain it's got to be this area right here. If I'm wrong, if somebody knows, one of my viewers knows for sure, let me know, because I would love to know the exact location to pay my respects. But as far as right now, this is where I'm going to assume they're at. Just inside the gate is what I was told. And if you go to the other side, just inside the gate, which I'm going to go over there and look just to make sure, but I don't see room. But if there's a monument over there, then maybe I'm wrong. So we'll find out. I've been wrong before. Now, this is another big bear spot. This is to the left as you come in the gate. So this could be it also, but I really do think it's on the other side. I'm not sure why I think that, but I really do. It's section G over there, and I think somebody told me it was in section G. Of course, this may be part of section G too, so it's hard telling. But yeah, sad story. Sad end to some people. All because safety standards weren't in place. You know, now we have sprinkler systems, and you know, brick buildings are built different. They don't just blow over like they used to. But it might be kind of interesting to come out here. This closes at night, but it might be kind of interesting. My new camera will shoot infrared, so maybe I should do some ghost hunting sometime, huh? I don't see a monument of any sort to the Paragon victims, so I don't know. I think there should be. I think there should be something, but you know, it's kind of the way it is. Texarkana has a lot of places that are haunted. I'm going to do a few videos on trying to trying to work something out to go on a nighttime ghost hunt before Halloween, so maybe I can get that going for you guys, because that would be pretty interesting. But any town, your town, any town as old as this, is going to have some creepy, haunted ghost things that you can go find and send shivers up your spine. I love Halloween. I love the whole thing about it. I love the movies. I love scary movies, you know. So, anyway, my friends got off down here. I think they were going to see the Otis Henry Monument, which I did a video on I guess about a month or two ago. I'm going to head down here and see if there's anything cool. I might stick a little extra video in here, but for right now, this is going to do it for me from the city of Texarkana and the Paragon tragedy. You guys be good to each other. Oh man, I got indigestion or something. Costs nothing to be nice. Go out and try and scare the crap out of yourselves in cemeteries when the sun's setting, because that's always a fun thing to do. I'll see y'all later. Bye.